Day, everyone. My name is Santosh Peart, and this is my benchmark organizational design structure and change presentation for Management 605. Please enjoy. Within this presentation, I will be discussing the history of the organization which I chose from the Fortune Most Admired Company, and that company was Apple Inc. I will discuss the history of the organization. I will identify the organizational issue, the ramification and consequences of this issue, the effects of the organizational structure, design, and culture. I will also discuss the embodiment of conscious capitalism, the improvement plan, managing challenges, and the strategies for leading teams and collaborations. Apple was started in April 1st, 1976 by Steve Jobs, Steve Wozniak, and Ronald Wayne. It was previously named Apple Computer Company, where they solely focused on computers. The first Apple product was the Apple I, which if you look in the left upper corner, you will see a picture of what that looks like. And when that went on sale in July, it cost $666. Shortly after Apple I went on sale, Apple II was created and retailed for a whopping $1,298 on June 10th, 1977. I don't know if you're a millennial or a boomer, but most of us had an iPod, I'm sorry, where you were able to have at least 5,000 songs on it at a time. Those were created in October 2001. Then in June 29th, 2007, the iPhone was born. So you could see a picture of that in the right upper corner. And now they have introduced their Apple Pay, where you could pay later if you are on their Apple Wallet. The issue many consumers have with Apple is that they are pricey. From our previous slide, when we were introducing the first product that they introduced, the Apple One, we saw a price of $666. When this is in the 70s, no one is paying that much, or no one is estimated to pay that much for a computer. And as time progressed, the prices keep increasing. So, for example, right now, an iPhone SE, which is their cheapest model, that costs $429. And if you're up to date and you change your phone regularly, you'll notice that the iPhone 15 or the iPhone 15 Pro Max is a whopping $799 or $999 respectively. Depends on which one you want to go for. Then, of course, we have the tablets, the iPads. These go for $329. But we have Amazon, who's also selling the tablet around the same size, retailing at $60. This was where we saw Apple lost scores. They ranked within the top 5 on the Fortune most admired list. However, this was one of their weakest areas. And ramification of the Apple products being so pricey is that many loyal customers have foregone updating their phones, and some have even switched to manufacturers such as Google and Samsung, just to name a few, as they provide cheaper cost. And I'm not sure if you do own an iPhone and you notice there's everything you have to pay for. You're always connected to them in some sort of way. And an organizational structure, there are several internal and external factors that ought to be considered. These factors are business strategy, external environment, nature of the organization's talent, organization size, expectation of how employees should behave, organization production, technology, and lastly, organizational change. It has been reported the organization structure of Apple Inc. is functional organization. Podolny states Apple relies on a structure that centers on functional expertise. Within a functional structure organization, the members of the group possess the same or similar skills and are expert within their area of study. Due to many experts working within their organization on a shared task, Apple Inc. has created a culture that encourages their employees to be creative and innovative. Because of the creativeness and the innovativeness of these employees at Apple Inc. can remain a tech giant, which then allows them to charge a whopping amount for a phone when compared to their competitors. Being a mega tech company, Apple has been involved in conscious capitalism. Apple has displayed the four tenets of conscious capitalism. De Matos for Latino explain conscious businesses are guided by higher purposes that are met, aligned, and integrate the interest of all their main stakeholders. So stakeholders we know are employees, community, and so forth. In 2002, Apple's employee giving program raised over $880 million. Team members have read audiobooks for children at the Ronald McDonald House, served over 177 million meals across 8 countries, care for thousands of children living with HIV through counseling and support. So I'm not sure if you remember when they have their product read, that was a part of that initiative. Lastly, the company has been on a mission to be carbon neutral by 2030 and have expanded the use of recycled material across its product. So I recall reading something on their website saying their Apple Watches are fully recyclable. Being a multi-million, almost billion-dollar company, there are certain things that could change, and for one of that's the price of the Apple product. To do this, we're going to use the Keller 8-step, the Kotter 8-step theory. That's one. We're going to create a sense of urgency. So we're going to do a board meeting where we discuss and talk about the cost and what we may do to rally and be that change agent. 2, we're going to build the change team. So we're not going to take this to the entire company at once because we don't want to bombard and we don't know if it's going to be successful. Then we're going to form a strategic vision where we come up with and identify the goal that we want. So at this point, the vision that we're working for is to create a cheaper Apple product. We're going to communicate that vision constantly so each member is aware of what is happening. We're going to create that open door of communication so where employees could also explain what they think is going wrong. We're going to remove that barriers to change. So we're going to promote change. We're going to reward those who are involved in change. We're going to make it easier for them. We're going to focus on the short term one because we're not going to be successful overnight. So we're going to say, okay, if we got a part at a cheaper price, we're going to celebrate that win. We're going to maintain the momentum because a lot of time when we're fostering change, as soon as we get a little momentum, we're like, oh, okay, and we fall off. But we're going to keep that momentum going so we could make it to the finish line. And once we make it to the finish line and our 10%, our change team has been successful and we got the plan that we want, we would then institute the change to the entire agency. uncertainty associated with change and the fear of the unknown, there will always be resistance to change. The source of resistance can be both organizational and individual. The organizational sources are overdetermination, narrow the focus of change, group inertia, threatened expertise, threatened power, and resource allocation, while the individual source is habits, security, economic factors, fear of the unknown, lack of awareness, and social factors. The challenges of the change and be a successful change agent. There are a few steps I would like to follow. One, consider the global issue. Take a holistic view of the organization. Start small because sometimes we overcompensate. Secure top management support. This is crucial because they will be the one to assist you. Encourage participation by those affected by the change. Foster open communication and reward those who contribute to the change. Lastly, to support an effective team and be a successful change agent, one must build trust with their employees. To do so, there needs to be an open line of communication and honesty from both parties. They may also enable the use of internet so that they're always aware of what's going on. When designing the structure of an organization, building culture and managing change, there are few things a manager should avoid, and these are dominating conflict culture and passive aggressive conflict cultures. Gelfand explained, within dominating conflict culture, there is yelling and shouting matches or threats and warning, which is not productive as neither party is able to get their points across, and this does not build trust but rather resentment as they feel they're not respected. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you have enjoyed my presentation. Bye.